All right, let's do it live on a Thursday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. I am merely Bo. He is the great Z.
What's up, brother?
Are we gonna need canoes?
Sunday we might. Yeah.
Let's get the latest. This is where you're at your sweet spot on
Yep.
this.
Yep.
Is 48 hours. That's kind of where you want to be in terms of what to expect. All right, here we go. AccuWeather pulling up. Oh, baby. Frost advisory.
Tonight. It's going to be in the upper 30s tonight, kids.
Oh, baby.
Get your plants inside.
Oh, baby, Gibby. All right. Sunday, wind gusts 40 miles an hour, not as warm. Periods of rain and a thunderstorm. Gusty winds can accompany any downpour.
I do not need a thunderstorm. Thunderstorm equals delay. No.
No,
Wrong.
thank you. Not welcome.
Not welcome.
What is the NFL rule on thunderstorm?
So I had to find out the hard way
Okay.
in 2020.
Okay.
We had a little thunderstorm.
Okay.
Did not know the rules
Okay.
other than, you follow the clock, when you come back. Except you better – CBS is going – or Fox or any of them, they go to another game.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing rain delay work, every time that game on TV goes to break, you are essentially expected to go to break.
Even
Not
if your
me.
game's not on?
Correct.
So you guys are just spinning your wheels.
I'm breaking period. I'm breaking every 15 minutes.
We're doing open talks.
I'm breaking-
having a big
be
chat?
like, hey, we're having an open talk right now. Talk back.
We
Do a
come
12-minute
come back, and the NFL representative comes in and goes, "All right, we're going to resume with break number blah blah blah." I was like, "We haven't even kicked off. What are you talking about?" He goes, "Well, don't you know you got to keep up with whatever the game is on TV. When they break, you break." And I'm like, "I'm 4 breaks behind."
Oh, God.
Well, that's a problem. So now I'm reconfiguring how we're doing halftime and everything. I think Donovan spent the majority of the game calling out, "This is break number 12. This is this is network break number 11. Super annoying. But no one, I reach out to the league. I'm like, I've never been given any pamphlet.
Yeah, give me some guidelines,
hey,
man.
How about this is what happens? They're like, oh, you didn't know? No. Actually, I've never had a rain delay in 7 years.
Jeez.
Thanks for nothing, league.
Yeah, let's not have one.
Not surprising, but thanks anyways.
Lightning is the one thing that just throws
Screws up it all.
everything off. Any sort of youth sports, it's like a 30-minute clock once you see it. If you spot lightning, a lot of times you'll see it way in the distance, and I'll just be like, nobody saw it. You're fine.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's
We're
at
good.
least
gonna go
15
that
miles
direction.
away.
That's going
Nothing
that
to see
direction.
here. We're fine.
Yep.
Don't look left. Nothing to see. Nothing to see here. Oh, man. Well, who knows? Gonna have a beautiful day on Saturday, and then should get a little bit wild. But quite honestly, that should suit us quite well, provided we decide to give the ball to number 10 a lot, because they're not great at stopping it, and he ought to eat a lot in these conditions.
Yeah, they're the worst run defense in the NFL, as a matter of fact, and there are many stats about it. They give up the most rushing yards per game. They give up the most rushing yards per carry this season as well. And then you get in the fact that there was one that I came across. They're one of 2 teams to allow 120-plus rushing yards in every game this season, the other being the Chicago Bears. So, yes, this should be a big run game for Quinshon Judkins, get him back on track. And quite frankly, we haven't been great throwing the football, so
No.
I don't mind this becoming a running game. I think that suits us. Get Aiden Huntington out there.
Yep.
We'll just go straight up 13 personnel every play
Yeah, just go bully ball.
and just go bully ball and go run it down their throats. Devin Achane, while he is dynamic, by the way, a slow, sloggy field is better for us too.
Yep.
Devin Achane is a speed guy, but he's not a big back. He's 5'9", 191 pounds.
yeah.
They don't have – Ollie Gordon would be their bigger back, the rookie out of Oklahoma State. He's 225, but on the season he's averaging 2 yards a carry. They want speed, spread out, all of it. Now this is a game that afterwards, if the weather is what it appears that it is going to be, we're going to be like, oh yeah, we definitely need a dome. because it's going to be it's going to be if it is what it says, wind gusts 25 to 50 miles an hour, rain, clouds, all of it. That's going to be not enjoyable to be sitting in.
Yeah, long before you and I on this show, long before there was even a whisper or a thought to a dome, we're always of the belief and aligned in the notion of 68 degrees, no elements. I want to see the sport played at its best in pristine conditions. That's why the Super Bowls are typically where they are, and it gets a little sideways. They had that crazy rain in the Super Bowl in Miami with Chicago and Indy. They got so lucky on that New York Super Bowl.
Oh,
now, the game was a beatdown. Dolphins or the Broncos, wasn't that Broncos Seahawks? I think Seahawks buried them. But they got so lucky with the weather on that. But, yeah, you want the conditions to be pristine so you can see the best athletes in the world playing the most popular sport in our country without that being a factor.
Yep.
So we'll see if it is or not by the time we get to Sunday around here. What did you watch last night? What did you do?
What did I watch
on a
last
fine
night?
Wednesday.
We watched the next episode of that Knives.
That's
Knives
right.
Edge about the Michelin stars.
Yeah,
and this was looking at some Chicago ones. You don't find out until Fridays when the next episode if they got them or not. So we watched some of that. I made a delicious stuffed pepper soup.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it was great.
That's
actually, but ironically, they had that's what was in the cafe.
Oh, they went with the.
Did you have it, Cabby? Give it. I think he did have some of it.
The stuffed pepper soup was fantastic.
Was a delight.
Yeah.
It was.
It's soup season.
It is soup season.
Yeah. It was very, very good today.
Yeah. That's very nice. Good job.
By the way, speaking of weather, tight end Darren Waller of the Dolphins a few moments ago said he expects weather in Cleveland. Last time playing there, he thought he saw birds in the air, but they were really pizza boxes caught in the wind. So when would he have been here?
With the Raiders?
That would have been 2020.
Was that inclement?
Oh
man, it was the Raiders, it was the Eagles, and the Texans. I want to say we had 3 in a row that were just
brutal,
drudgery.
But that was COVID.
Yeah.
So there was nobody there.
Yeah, I think we were at the point maybe where we had
11,000.
Yeah, 11,000.
Yeah,
just plenty of seats
spread out everywhere. Yeah,
and that was when. Oh man, I got to think. We won 2 of those games. Stock had a pick 6 against the Eagles that we won that one.
Yeah, and the Texans is the famous Chubb going out of bounds.
Oh, that's
right. That one. We lost, though, to the Raiders in those ugly, ugly conditions in a game. 16-6 was the final. The Texans game was 10-7. It was just tough conditions. Very tough. I'm pretty sure they in that game, they bully balled us a little bit, if I recall it correctly. Yeah, Josh Jacobs had 31 carries for 129 yards.
Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the receiver?
Hunter Renfrow.
Oh, he was in the middle of that.
Mm-hmm. So it was Alec Ingold was the fullback, who will be the fullback in this game. Darren Waller was their tight end, who will be the tight end in this game. They also at that time had Henry Ruggs. Hunter Renfrow caught the touchdown. Darren Waller had 5 for 27. That led their team in receiving. They had Jason Witten, end of his career. Jason Witten was a Raider.
I don't remember that at all. So that must have been after he went to the booth and then they pulled him out of the booth? Because he went to the booth when he was still with the Cowboys and retired.
He retired in 18, came back in 19 to Dallas, and then that final year went to the Raiders, where he averaged 5 yards a catch.
So he just did the 18 season in the booth. That's when they had Booger on that trike that was driving around, and Tess was on there.
Horrific.
Tess just wasn't. You just can't do. I love him. He's so great on College Football Saturday Night, where you have these
pretty sure he's
things
the
that
announcer
happens.
for Raw.
I think he does wrestling now. Yeah. He's so good on that. But on Monday Night Football, it was just one of those things where some of these games aren't that interesting. And he was treating them like it was an SEC Saturday night and a 49-42 game between Ole Miss and LSU and 4 overtimes.
Yeah.
And not all of those games have that juice to them. And then Witten really struggled.
So
him and Breeze both retired to go to the booth, and it didn't land for
either one. Did not land, no. So we didn't have Nick Chubb in this game. I wonder if this was right after Cincinnati.
Was that Raider game 21 or 20?
20. 21 Raider game is...
Who's the quarterback?
Nick Mullins.
Yeah. And we had to play it on a Monday.
They moved it from a Saturday to a
show
Monday.
On Friday, and we had Kay Adams on, and she was all looking forward
my
to coming,
God.
and then they postponed the game because of a COVID outbreak on our team.
I think she was on the line with us when we said, "Kay, I think you're going to be postponed."
And she went to Cincinnati instead.
Yeah, because she was either en route to her hotel in the car or at her hotel already. While we were talking to her, Kay, I'm going to break some bad news for you, but I have a feeling you're not going to be doing the game.
Yeah,
and you're going to be instead.
And it was a Monday or a Tuesday. It might have even been a Tuesday at like 5:00.
You don't even, I always say, in football, I know you guys feel this way too. Like it's like this, you're on a treadmill on about 14 and a half right now. And then you wake up and it's February and you're like, what just happened in the last 6 months? That year was that times a billion. It all bleeds together. When you bring up specific moments like that, I can remember them crystallized. But in terms of the game in, game out process, it all just bleeds together.
So that Raiders game was the week after OBJ gets hurt on the first play in Cincinnati. We win 37-34 on the touchdown to DPJ.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the Raiders game was the next game.
The next week.
So that was the game where Bake took off. Was that Cincinnati game?
Well, from the Cincinnati game on, he had 20 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Yeah, he was lights out.
He was. These games were just dreadful, though. You couldn't throw the ball. We beat the Texans 10-7.
Awful weather week after week at home.
Yeah, and then with a bye week in between, Taki had the pick 6. Yeah, like you really couldn't throw the ball in any of these games.
You would know the answer to this, Gibbe. Or you have the best chance of the three of us of knowing the answer to this. Do you know why they put the stadium originally on the lake?
In 99?
No.
Or way back when?
Municipal, way back. One of our listeners must know. It just, the idea that you would put a place to hold sporting events, the closest,
outdoor.
and in those days there, no domes obviously when they built Municipal Stadium, but just that you would do that while putting it in the path of the place where the weather's going to be the diciest in the whole region. Like they had to have lake effect stuff constantly through the years that Municipal was open.
Yes.
I mean, just going from where it is to where Progressive is now.
It was built on Lake Erie shore on reclaimed land primarily to create a publicly funded large-scale sports venue that would serve as a commercial attraction for the city. Location was a landfill of old cars and tires. Project was driven by city officials and business leaders who saw it as a way to boost commerce and build a grand multi-purpose stadium for both professional and amateur athletics. City leaders and business magnates believed a large stadium would attract visitors and benefit downtown commerce. It was publicly funded, a $2.5 million bond in 1928.
So 28 is when they did it.
It opened in 1931.
Yeah.
Built on landfill.
That's incredible that there was that much landfill already in 1931 with cars and tires. Is that what you said? To fill it up. I mean, when's the Model T? Like 1916? When's the Model T come out?
I mean, this sounds like this. I'm going to read just a sentence.
Yeah.
That sounds like it's from Seinfeld. The impetus for Cleveland Stadium came from city manager William R. Hopkins Airport, Cleveland Indians president Ernest Bernard, a real estate magnate and future Indians president Alva Bradley, and the Van Swearingen brothers, who thought that the attraction of a stadium would benefit area commerce in general and their own commercial interests in downtown Cleveland in particular.
Van Swearingen brothers?
The Van Swearingen brothers.
Swearingen, that's the name of the...
Of course, from Deadwood.
The protagonist in Deadwood, which is his actual name.
Yeah.
That's a real guy, and that was his actual name. Was Swearingen. That's great. Huh. Yeah, it's just interesting to me because, it's amazing. Sometimes you guys are down there and I'm watching at my house. I'm texting you like we dealt with the rain and you're like, well, it's raining here. And I'm like, well, it's 78 and sunny here. There's nothing here. So there's just a variable you get down there that dome or not, you don't get in a lot of other parts of the area.
I know a number of our video people are down there today. They're setting up Zagura's new countdown desk for Sunday morning. Going to debut that in this weather.
Oh, baby.
Well,
and
I'm not sure about that.
We saw a video, and it is nothing but midges. And I mean midges everywhere. And I'm like, when did those come back?
Well, they'll be gone tonight. It's below freezing.
And that's what I'm like.
That's a wrap, boys.
When did that? Like, I haven't seen a midge.
No.
They were all over. Like they're running up steps like covered. Like there's just
Really?
swarms this morning.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, because it's supposed to freeze tonight, so that's the end of them.
I would like to think so.
Yeah, that's got to be it. I think that's got to be it. A couple of things from practice today. Still no Chief. Jack Conklin out. Jack Conklin, neither were at practice this afternoon. Neither Chief or Jack. Gage was back at practice today.
Bobby Meckling just hit us with a classic. Why do you drive on a parkway and park in a driveway? Mm-hmm. And he said, why is it called a building if it's already built? That's a great question, Bobby.
Bobby's into his bag. No mailbag today, though.
Send me the questions.
Oh,
if we can
time.
Squeeze it in.
We got a lot going on.
I didn't want to commit to it and then let the people down.
So if Conklin can't go, what's our tackle situation Sunday?
Me.
G-Man's
the backup.
You're gonna, and we don't know about Cam Robinson.
G-Man's a natural guard,
but it'd be Cam Robinson and then either KT or Cornelius Lucas inactive the last 2 games, or if there's no Cam Robinson either, it's going to be KT Levison and Cornelius Lucas.
Wow. Yeah, see, look at him. He's still got it. Wadsworth Grizzly right there.
How about it?
He's ready to go. Yeah, so that's not looking good for Jack then as we're here on a Thursday. Although the concussion thing can change at any point. You just have to – we've been through that a bunch in terms of what comes with that. Those are your hot topics today presented by University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. I should remind you to join Z and Gerard tonight, 7 to 8, Kevin Stefanski's show, live from Panini's in Brunswick. Hear from Coach, meet the Browns kicker, Andre Schmidt, and register to win autographed merch courtesy of our friends at Bud Light. We'll do the Microsoft Minute coming up next. We still have to guess the scores. My goodness, we are loaded up, kids. Lots to get to. Off and running on a Thursday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Fill your game day cooler with the refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Smooth, real brewed tea with a 5% kick of alcohol. Look for the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea, keep it twisted. Time now for the Microsoft Minute presented by Microsoft. Presented by Microsoft Surface Copilot Plus PC. Here is Dr. Z.
Well, obviously didn't get the result that you wanted there in Pittsburgh, but one of the things that's become increasingly clear is that teams are trying to get the football out very quickly against the Cleveland Browns. And if you were to look at that, one of the reasons why, it's because our defense has been so good. The Browns had 11 sacks from weeks 1 to 3. Now, when did this kind of change? Well, you get Jared Goff in week 4, then you get Carson Wentz and the Vikings in week 5, and then Aaron Rodgers, who gets it out as quick as anybody in the NFL in week 6. So the Browns have just 3 sacks now over the last 3 games, and in 2 of those games, they didn't have a single sack. The weather doesn't look great for Sunday against Miami, but what you have to do, and I think what Jim Schwartz is working on right now, is trying to disguise some coverages, try to cause the quarterback to hold it a beat longer and allow our pass rush to get home, because this defensive line has been such an instrumental part of what we've been able to do on defense. It's one of the reasons why we are one of the top-ranked defenses in the NFL, but teams are trying to neutralize it. That's nothing new. Teams have done that ever since Myles Garrett has been here because they know he can absolutely wreck a game. And now with Malik Collins rushing the quarterback so effectively, McGuire and Alex Wright doing so well, they're trying to even mitigate that even more. So I think we need to see a couple things. Number one, our offense put points on the board to put opposing offenses in a position where they have to chase points. That will force them into more obvious passing situations and force them to hold the football a little bit longer. And they can't just be content at the end of a drive, say, you know what, we're going to go ahead, we'll just punt it, that's fine. So hopefully we can get that accomplished and then just create a little bit of confusion for quarterbacks so they got to hold it a beat longer, and then the defensive line can get there.
There you go. There is your Microsoft Minute from Dr. Z.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we'll attempt to guess the scores. Week 7 of the National Football League season. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. The Cleveland Browns High School Game of the Week, presented by Ohio Cat, showcases top matchups, rising stars across Northeast Ohio. Each week, fans vote for the game they want to see, and the winning team earns $3,000 in funding, plus spotlight coverage on the Browns' social channels. Time for a little segment we like to call Guess the Scores. Week 7.
By the way, Kenston Mayfield won this
Kenston
week.
Mayfield, there you go.
That was my pick.
High school
Is
football
that
Nate.
Bombers and Wildcats?
There you go.
You're right.
It'll be a good
Sorry,
one.
didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. And
I'm on a real heater, folks.
Kenston's got the Cowboys hats, right? They wear the Cowboys uniforms?
Yep.
Cowboys helmets anyway, yeah. Look good. And I think Mayfield uses the Wildcat from K-State.
Yes.
Do I have that right?
Yep. They're green and
white and black,
green
maybe
and
a little
white,
bit.
I believe. Maybe a little black in there too.
All right, we're 6-0, boys.
All right. So this has gotten ridiculous.
This is your first foray here, though.
Yeah.
For this.
I know it. I cannot. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised by your excellence.
Well, that's
I sit witness to it every day, and yet even this surprises me. A 6-0 run to start.
Well, the first 4 were a full point. The last 2 weeks we dropped it to a half.
Irregardless.
Well, thank you.
All right, you ready?
Well, I don't know. I feel like now I feel like the announcer jinx has been put on. I know.
No,
Siciliano
there's no
would say-
jinx.
Well,
You'd
I
say
am.
that's not
It's
real.
just that yesterday to Wednesday to Thursday, a lot happened. Maybe some scores moved.
Maybe
Now
things
all of a
changed. Who
sudden-
knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? All right, you ready?
I hope so.
Thursday night football, the Steelers and Bengals. It is on Amazon Prime with Al, Kirk, and Kaylee on that one. Steelers at Bengals.
I hope someone acted accordingly on that stupid black and gold football team at O'Malley's in the alley last night, at least.
Steelers
Solid night.
minus 5.5.
Got it exactly. It was 4.5 this morning, but I'm guessing that's the Trey Hendrickson bump
Yes.
that Hendrickson could be out of that game.
He is out.
I was contemplating going 6, but I didn't think it would get to 7.
The no, it was Vegas zone. A must win for Cincinnati. They have if they could. I mean, this is winnable. They've got a lot of problems, but this is winnable. Pittsburgh is no super team. It's a 5.5 points. If they win this one next week, they get Jets at home. So they could go. You could get 2 here and get to 4-4. You'll be favored next week against the Jets.
Yes.
You could get to 4-4 and then have some semblance of hope. Here's the problem in Cincinnati. I have not heard a single positive update on Joe Burrow.
No, he's out for the year.
Not one.
He's out for the year.
I know they haven't announced that yet,
I
but
know,
that's
but
certainly what it feels like. There's not been a single positive update out of Cincinnati.
I mean, at what point? Because what are we? Are we 3 weeks out from the trade deadline?
November 4th.
So it's the
believe.
Tuesday after we come back from the bye week.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Like, do you move Hendrickson there?
that's what I
Like,
mean.
if you lose
if you
tonight,
lose tonight,
Then do you put Hendrickson on the
I
on
think
the
you're
table
starting to entertain offers
as a
for
rental?
people.
Now, what's the cost of a rental high-impact defensive end who you have for this year only? Is
You
that
would
a- is that a
imagine that
2?
you're making the move with the assumption that you're going to be able to sign them.
You'd hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd have to be somebody who has the space, like Dallas, maybe, if they can win this
If
week.
they can do it, yeah.
All right, next stop, we are in across the pond, as
Again.
Andrew Siciliano likes to call it, across the pond in London for Just Ramit and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Rick Newsom, go back to London.
He's right back.
Go
That's
back.
right.
Go back to London.
Twice, he's right back.
That's a lot.
Rich, Kurt, and Sarah Walsh on this one. The Ramit spent this week in Baltimore. Will go to London tomorrow.
So, how did the last 2 weeks get Rich, Kurt, and Sarah Walsh, and we get Jonathan Vilma?
NFL Network versus CBS. Was ours on CBS or was ours
No,
NFL
it was
Network?
NFL Network.
Good question. Because wasn't it Kenny Albert?
Yeah.
We should have at least
I
got
love
Chris
Kenny
Rose in
Albert.
the half. They usually do a London game.
Yeah, that would have been great.
So it's a
Ramit,
neutral field.
Jags. Yep.
I don't really have a great feel for this one. I think I could be wildly off. I'm going to go Rams minus 2.
What do we have to be within?
A half.
Got it. 2.5. Ooh. Good job of you.
I really don't have a good feel, but I'm really just going to knock it out of the park.
Yep. All right, Sunday. We're now the Sunday 1 o'clock slate. We begin in Chicago. Saints at Bears. Kevin Kugler, Daryl Johnston, Allison Williams on the call for Fox. What have you made of the Caleb Williams, Troy Aikman back and forth? I was watching both games Monday, so I didn't hear him
I don't know, but
eviscerate
apparently
him.
he was tough on him on the broadcast. But
Yeah.
Caleb was watching film and called him too late. Troy didn't answer, and then that's what it seems like.
Oh, so there was a personal animus from him not doing the player interview thing or whatever.
I mean, he called him, and then Troy didn't answer because I guess he called him later than Troy wanted to be called because he was studying film to do his job.
And he took that personally. Saints at Bears.
So I've written down 3 numbers and scribbled them out. Bears -5.
Got it. Bears -4.5.
Okay.
There's no
Started
stopping
off
the
at
kid
6.
now. Our game, Dolphins at Browns. Spiro, Adam Archuleta, and Aditi Kinkabala.
Browns -2.5.
Got it exactly. I mean, this isn't
That
even
one-
fun.
well,
at
that
this
one I
point.
had
It's
seen.
not even. It's
That
not
one I
fun.
had seen.
There's no
But-
fun in this. Your
but
greatness
last week,
is transcendent.
Last week, I had
It
seen
changed.
ours because it comes on all of the the
And it
NFL
flipped?
material. Yeah, and I got it wrong. I'm like, wait a second, this was what I knew.
Patriots at Titans. Mike Vrabel Revenge Bowl. Andrew Catalon, Charles Davis, Jason McCourty, AJ Ross. Oh boy, that's
Patriots. I think the Patriots are really good. Patriots -6.5.
It's exactly that.
Let's go, Gibbe.
going
What are you saying
on?
now? Where's
We're going to
G-Man?
cancel this segment.
Yeah, I mean,
G-Man.
he's too good. He's too good at it right now. It's too good.
Maybe he's got to hit. Well, no, he
I still got a long way to go. We still have not.
You don't have that far to go.
Well, we're
Is
feeling
there-
good.
You're already clinched. I mean, you pretty much clinched.
No.
It's a winning record.
No, I
there's
have
no
not.
way that you're not going 7-0. It's zero chance. Do you think Mike Vrabel will be vindictive if given the
Yes.
opportunity Sunday?
Yes, and my scores will reflect that.
Like I don't. Somebody said to me this morning when I was doing it, they said, "Well, what would be a number that would make you comfortable in picking Tennessee?" So I'll pose that question to you too. What would be the number that would make you comfortable picking Tennessee?
14.5.
14.5.
Mm-hmm.
Gibbe? That you think Tennessee could handle it?
I still don't know if we should be crowning the Patriots all the way. I'll go 12.5.
So this morning, when that question was posed to me, I said 14.5. That's what I said would make me think very
Same.
hard about taking Tennessee. But it would take that much because they're really bad and the Patriots are good. I don't think they're a super team or nothing like that, but they're good. And if given the opportunity, if he's up 10, I guarantee you, if he's up 10 with the ball in 2.5 minutes, he's going to put 7 on the board. Like he's not going to.
The interim coach factor, sometimes that gives you a little bump.
Who is it?
Mike McCoy.
Oh, is it McCoy? Okay.
So I'm like,
Yeah. All right. Staying in the 1 o'clock window, this is your Nance Romo Wolfson game. I don't know why it's the Nance Romo Wolfson game. Well, I guess I look at the rest of the CBS slate and maybe it makes some sense. No, they should be.
No,
it should be
makes
Colts
no
Chargers. They should be Colts Chargers. Instead, they are Raiders at Kansas City. Do you think this is like Nance just saying, "Hey, I want to be closer to
I want to do a
Nashville?
1 o'clock game.
I want to do a 1 o'clock game close to Nashville."
no, I think it's CBS and the love affair with the Kansas City Chiefs and, Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes.
So
They know
regardless
that
of
people
roster,
are going to
yeah.
watch it no matter what.
All right, Raiders at Chiefs.
Chiefs -7.5.
Your first loss. Chiefs -12.5.
Jeez.
It's a big boy.
That's a huge number.
That's a big digit there, buddy. Eagles at Vikings. Adam Ammon, Greg Olson, and Pam Oliver. By the way, did you see that Greg Olson and Luke Kuechly are coaching middle school football in Nashville?
It's awesome.
And their team is,
Does everybody live in Nashville?
I think so. Their team is just dominant. Like they won like 35-0, and they were complaining about how they gave up 1 first down. Like, can you imagine just being little daddy?
Oh, God.
Little Daddy Donnie, and I come in to go coach some middle school football, and it's Kuechly and Olson coaching the other team, and you're going, all right, so genetics are going to be on their favor.
Oh, yeah.
And then football acumen is going to be a pretty big advantage.
How would Coach Bo scheme that up?
Well, if I don't have – the only chance I got mean, you got to know your roster. I'd have to know my roster. Like if I had
All right.
NBC's squad, one of his squads, I would go tempo, and we get a pretty good quarterback. I'd go tempo, and I would just spin it as quick as possible because I'm not going to be able to out-bully them. They're going to have bigger kids. They're going to have stronger kids.
Yeah.
The only chance I have is to play a game that way. You take the air out of the ball, they're just going to smother you. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how all that air raid stuff started. It started at the schools that struggled, and this was like the equalizer.
Yeah.
Like we can play faster and smarter. That's
So I
probably
just
the way to do
wonder.
it.
I just wonder where all these kids end up going to school. They live in Nashville, but where? Like,
I don't know.
Can Vanderbilt get any of these?
No. Well, now it doesn't. You know, that's the other thing in major college football now. It really doesn't matter because the world is so small that, you know, there's a California kid quarterback in Ohio State. There was a California kid quarterback in Tennessee. There's a California kid quarterback in Alabama. Like,
Yep.
It's just the world's gotten pretty small. All right. We are.
You guys are freezing me out right here.
Eagles Vikings.
That's right. Eagles at Vikings.
It's a big game.
Massive.
I don't even know who's quarterbacking for the Vikings.
Shefty thought it was leaning towards McCarthy. It was the lean.
Vikings minus 2.5.
2 in a row now. Eagles minus 1.5.
Okay, wouldn't have got that. Yeah, some of these are not easy.
Well, you're still well ahead. Panthers.
It closes real
We're
quickly.
closing
They
out
start
the-
guessing and then
Closing out the 1 o'clock window. Panthers at Jets. Chris Myers, Mark Schlereth, and Sarah Kustok on it. The call for Fox.
Panthers minus 3.5.
Panthers minus 1.5.
What?
You got to remember, the Panthers are 3-0 at home, 0-3 on the road.
I think this
They
is
are,
where they transcend.
Yeah.
Sunday,
I'm in for all this right now.
4
Now I'm
o'clock
This is
slate.
an epic collapse.
Giants, the G-Men at the Broncos. Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, Melanie Collins on the call.
Broncos minus 7.
Broncos minus 17.5.
What?
I'm kidding. 7.5. Just wanted to- You got it. 7.5.
Thank you.
Order has been restored. 7.5 for the Broncos. This is a good one. The Colts at the Chargers. Ian Eagle, J.J. Watt, Evan Washburn on the call. Colts at Chargers.
Chargers minus 2.5.
No. Chargers minus 1.5. Put some respect on Indy's name, sir.
I have a lot of respect for Indy.
Yeah, I know. You were an early believer, a very early believer in the Indianapolis Colts. You see the uniforms the Chargers are wearing?
No.
Awful.
All yellow.
They're so terrible.
All
Is
yellow.
that like a Savannah banana deal?
That's
Why
what it
are
looks
they so
like.
terrible?
They call them their lightning
G-Man
kits
likes
or
them.
something. Of course he does.
They're awful. The ones
no,
they were in
they
last
have so
week
many.
were so good. They're just where you're.
They have so many perfect ones. Like
Yes.
you don't need to.
Don't mess.
It's
with
almost
them.
like they have too much to play with. Too many toys for the Chargers in this regard. All right, Sunday 4 o'clock. We continue. Washington Commanders at Dallas Cowboys.
So normally you only get like 2 or 3 games in the 4 o'clock window.
Last week we had 3. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think one of these is good. A couple of them might worth watching. But
I mean, I think Colts, Chargers, and Commies, Cowboys are both pretty good. This is Burkhardt, Brady, Aaron Andrews, and Tom Rinaldi from Big D, Dallas. Dun, 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 dun,
Commanders
dun, dun,
minus
dun,
2.5.
dun, 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 minus 1.5.
I like this.
You
freezing
6 and
out
5
that I'm
now?
suddenly
Yes.
doing here.
You got time. Plenty of time. It's too easy.
These are tough.
It's too easy. We made this too easy for you.
No, it's not too easy.
Cruising. All that private school education. You ready?
Yeah.
Packers at Cardinals. Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, and a Jen Hale on the call from Glendale.
Packers minus 7.
Got it. There we go. Packers minus 6.5.
Did you see Gannon at the podium yesterday?
No,
Kev, any
Oh,
chance
man, do we have that
you
clip?
have that audio?
Oh, it's great.
Let me see what we got
So
in
he
the
would-
archives here.
Give me the backdrop.
Okay,
on
it would have been from
It's hard
yesterday, so it would be
Hard hats.
today. And it was. We'll see if he finds it, and that will determine where
That
we
will
go.
determine.
But it's a pretty insane.
Is this a
moment.
Kyler back? Is he back for this game?
I don't know.
They actually played pretty good with Jacoby. So
He threw for like 300.
yeah, he played really well.
I can tell you Nose Jones or Amari DiMercato during the open portion of practice.
That doesn't
Not
affect
a big
much for me.
loss. That's not
Kyler
gonna affect the
Murray
spread.
was in uniform at practice. Marvin Harrison in the yellow no contact jersey today.
Okay. All right, we're into prime time. Sunday night football. The Atlanta Falcons at the San Francisco 49ers. Tarico Collinsworth and Melissa Stark on the call for Sunday night
I don't
football.
know what to think about the stupid Falcons.
So I think this should be at least Niners -5, but I don't think it's going to be that. It's not going to be. Falcons had a very impressive nationally televised win. I was almost going to say Niners -1, but there's no point in having the half there. That's not going to. You can never be Niners -0.5. So if it can't be one,
Well, you could do a pick 'em.
no, but that wouldn't get there from 1.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's
So
very
1
true.
would limit myself to 1 or 1.5.
1 or 1.5.
So if I'm going to do that,
Look at the big brain on
let's
you.
do-
You're doing all the contemplating.
let's do.
What's
one-
your dream uniform matchup in this game?
Classic Niners or the 1994 Niners whites against the
baby.
Jeff George blacks.
Jeez.
Yeah, that would be a great combo. That would look beautiful. I'm Niners. I talked myself into it. Niners -1.5.
Niners -5.5. I'm kidding. It's 2.5, but you still missed it. You're fine. You're safe. You're safe.
I love that we just stalled him out.
Yeah, you guys really.
I'm
took
not
my momentum.
stalling him out at all. What are you talking about? He's one of my great friends.
I got to get one of these.
I
last
absolutely
two.
adore being in this proximity to
I got to
him
get
for
one
2
of these
hours
last
a
two.
day every day.
Hold on, let me dial in.
His brilliance is something that we can all hope dusts off on us, and we're all a little bit better when we leave. We just want him happy and healthy and wise.
That's definitely true from 1 to 3. All right.
I don't know about 3 to 5.
No, but no. It's like I have an
All
expiration.
that joy dust goes away. 3 to 5. There's
Especially
a witching
after
hour.
4. We're trying to hold it on right now to get a win here. I gotta get one of these last 2.
This
Buccaneers.
Is where you thrive, though. You thrive in these.
He's getting both of
nighttime
these. He's going to go 2-0. These are 7 to 10 double headers. So this is a double header as opposed to the stagger,
That
which we
sucks.
had last week. So the second game I'll see kickoff, and that's about it. First game, I'll watch all of it. And the first game's a good one. Buccaneers at Lions. Buck Aikman, Salters, and Alora Rutledge. This, by the way, should be Honolulu blue over silver.
Yep.
Creamsicle whites
white.
would be pristine. I was playing with the Lions last night on Madden. Just wanted to sling it around a little bit.
Yeah. They're quite fun.
Well, I got Jamison Williams running a post. I got a linebacker who is 6 yards in depth.
Ugh. And he picked it.
Jamison's 18 yards downfield,
You can't pick it. But
and they have Goff just throw it right to the
Can they
linebacker.
just remake Super
he can't
Tecmo?
layer it. He can't layer a damn thing. In the college game, you can layer it. For some reason, the NFL game, you can't, or maybe. So that was it. I turned it off. I played for a quarter. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
All right. The Bucks are red hot, but they're injured, and they're doing a lot of it with kind of like
Plus 14-point differential. And they're
smoke and
5-1.
mirrors. I think this is going to be a bigger number than we think in the Vegas zone. Because my natural instincts would have been, say, 3. I'm going to go Detroit -5. We got it. Let's go. Let's
5.5. 5.5. Another winning record.
It just felt like that was one that was going to be big.
Right on it.
No, I didn't get right on it.
Well,
but
pretty
I just felt like-
close.
well, I almost said 3 on that one.
Your late game, I will see next to none of this, is Texans at Seahawks. Fowler, Orlovsky, Riddick, Katie George, and Peter Schrager.
Could be a fun game. I wish I could watch it.
Why do they have 5 people on the call?
I don't know.
You're going to fly 5 people to Seattle?
2 different 3-man booth, 2 sidelines.
Yeah, it's too much. Too much. Don't.
I think the Seahawks are one of the best teams in the league. I'm going to go Seahawks -6.
It's only 3.5, so you would have gotten that one wrong, but it doesn't matter. You finish 8-7. But a dub.
I started off, folks, 5-0.
5-0.
3-7 over the last 10.
Yeah, I tell you, there's when you do this, there's the Patriots one to me is lower than I thought at 6.5 because I do think Tennessee's a real disaster. The Chiefs one's wild at 12.5.
I was off.
That to me feels like somebody knows something.
I was off.
Like that feels like that's might be 31-7 or something like that.
I was off majorly on Raiders Chiefs was by 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Eagles Vikings. I didn't have the wrong team.
You had the wrong team on that. I think you were Vikings 2.5,
Yep.
and it's Eagles -1.5.
I was too high on the Panthers. I got the Broncos. I was too big on the Chargers.
Yeah, you lost 5 out of 6, but then you had
rallied.
already built
Commanders.
up a
What
big
was
enough
the
lead.
Commanders Cowboys?
Commies -1.5.
And I took the Cowboys because people are loving them. I got
Yep.
Packers. I didn't get Niners. I can't believe that. I should have just. What was it? 2.5.
It's 2. No, you did get that one.
I did?
Your initial thought was 5.5, and then you went 1. That doesn't make sense. So let's go 2.
I went 1.5. I didn't get that one, but it
you
is
didn't?
8. And,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
it is
yeah,
8
yeah,
and
yeah.
7. And then I got Bucks Lions. Which that one I felt like I was kind of going on a weird tangent. But it was
The crazy
right.
thing about that is
It's a big number.
it is, but very likely no Emeka Buka. Definitely no Mike Evans.
Well, maybe, yeah. No
So,
Bucky Irving.
Right. So, how much can you've been doing this kind of smoke and mirrors, late
Yeah.
comeback thing every week. Now you've got a bunch of injuries to your best weapons. Can that really keep up against a Detroit team that's really, really good? If I were to ask you guys a question without giving much thought to it, how many great teams are there this year?
0.
Great.
How many great teams are there?
0. I don't think there's a great team yet.
Who do you think's the best of the really goods?
Quick little power poll. Give me your top 5.
Well, you could.
I don't think there's more than 5.
No.
Yeah, let's just do them right now.
You probably can put Tampa Bay and Detroit in the top 5.
Tampa Bay's got to go in there for sure. Got to go
Chiefs.
Indy's
You're
got
going to
to
put
be in
the
there.
Chiefs back in?
Yeah, I would. I would have the Chiefs in. I mean, they got Rashee Rice back now.
Yeah.
You got Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice, and they got
are
Worthy
you
kind of
putting
going
the-
a
are
little
you,
bit.
Are you going Bills in the top 5 right now?
No, I wouldn't.
Steelers or Rams?
So I think it's Detroit. Right now, I think Detroit's in my top 5. Tampa Bay's in my top 5. Indy and the Chiefs, and then the 5th one, I could do Seattle.
Ram it?
I could do Ram it. I could do Packers.
I like Seattle and I like Green Bay.
Philly, I still think Philly will be right at some point. They're not right now. So you got who are your 5?
I had Kansas City, Seattle, Indy, Detroit, and Tampa. And then my next ones were Buffalo, Chargers,
Ramets.
No Puka, though.
Yeah, I mean, and then you're going to be talking about ascending teams. Then you're talking about do the Patriots crash the party?
Denver.
Denver's been dominant at times.
Yeah, their D is
their
excellent.
defense is quite dominant. So you get a little bit of that comes with them. The Bills and Ravens.
Baltimore
are
gets
buys.
healthy in 5 weeks. What are we talking about with Baltimore?
But boy, is that hole too big. Has anyone ever come back from 1-5? Oh, Bubba said that today in his presser. His Colts team did. They started 1-5, and then they ended up 10-6. The quarterback was Andrew Luck, so they went 9-1 down the stretch to make the postseason. So,
Real quick, here is Gannon, the head coach of Arizona,
All right.
from St. Ignatius, I believe, as well,
okay,
and asked the following question on the podium. Go ahead, Kev.
Coach, how early in your career did you have to start trying to figure out how to take the emotion out of coaching, as far as when you have all these injuries and you have all these different pieces? When's the first time that you can recall that?
2007, when our quarterback went to jail.
Coach, thank you.
Coach, thank you.
He says, "All right, Coach, thank you."
Vic, was he with
Yep.
Atlanta?
Yeah. We had to look it up because I was like, 2007 seems awful late.
That's the only
that.
quarterback I can recall who went
Oh,
to
yeah.
jail.
Yeah.
Was Vic. Can you imagine that story now in this day and age?
Yeah.
Was that in season? Or was it in preseason? When did that happen? When was he arrested?
G-Man says July.
So it was right before camp. It was right before camp.
Yeah.
And had Petrino already left to go to Arkansas at that point?
Whew. There's a name.
Oh, man.
He's back. He's the interim head coach at Arkansas now. He's come full circle. that
Big
clown.
Suey.
Yeah, he did it.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think he was already gone at that point because I think he was on it.
We were like, wait, what? We got to find who was the quarterback.
You didn't remember right away?
I didn't, because I thought Vic was like 01, 02. I thought it was earlier.
Yeah. Well, he played Florida State in the 99 national championship game at Virginia Tech. Then he played the 2000 season. He was a redshirt freshman in 99 when they played him for the national title. Then in 2000 he played his redshirt sophomore season. Then 01 was his first year in the league.
That's why I
Yeah.
thought it was.
He's still the fastest I've ever seen of somebody cover 15 yards, like in a burst. Still the fastest I've ever seen. We'll hit the matchups part of your day. We'll start with our offense against the Dolphins defense coming up at the top of the hour. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Add more fun to your fandom with the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Download today. Get 50 back in bonus bets. You place your first wager of 10 or more. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time to head to the podium presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. Here's your offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees.
Dylan in his second start, and
You're done.
did you feel like he was as accurate as he had been in that first game?
Yeah, thought there were some really positive plays, maneuvering the pocket, being tough in the pocket. Like walked out of that game, seeing Dylan's toughness really show through. Like it got into a tough circumstance there when you play that team, get behind, don't want to make it a one-dimensional game. It's a tough spot to put a young quarterback in. But I thought he hung in there, delivered the ball. Other misses, sure. I think pressure obviously can attribute to some of those things. We had a couple opportunities there. We had a couple balls that we just didn't connect on. Think of the one there late in the third quarter to Harold, and then we missed one to Jerry on an extended play. So just we want to make sure that we're putting him in those positions to continue to get that work during the week. But all in all, battled tough circumstance as the game went on. But mentally, I thought he was in the right place for the majority of the game, and did a nice job in a tough environment of communicating to our guys. So, week to week with a rookie quarterback, you're going to build upon, what you do and what you ask of him. So, going to keep trending in the right direction with how we approach the week with Dylan.
Is it difficult to stick with the run when it isn't going well in the beginning? I'm talking about before the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I think our run plan, we felt confident about going into the game. They have a good front. The game takes so many turns, throughout series, whether you're getting behind the sticks or the circumstances of the game. So, certainly we had run the ball pretty effectively for a couple weeks, and it's something that we want to make sure that we're always giving ourselves a chance to do. Q had a couple, really efficient weeks running it. Our line was blocking well. Our tight ends were doing a nice job. Receivers competing in the game. So, look to make sure that we always have the ability to run the ball for 4 quarters, and staying in the game is part of that critically as well.
To Dylan, when he faces as much pressure as he saw on Sunday, he's hit 16 times. How difficult is it to evaluate his performance, especially a young quarterback and rookie performance, when that's kind of the case?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of positives to draw from it. We had a 22-yard completion called back where he did a great job in the pocket of extending the play in the pocket, found Jerry, and we could call snap there. The extended play to Harold, the extended play to Jerry. There are some movement things there that I think are really efficient, and you see him keeping his eyes down the field and not seeing the rush. He was hit, but I never felt like he was, feeling the rush and it got him off schedule or out of his plan. So when you look at that and you evaluate his ability to maneuver in the pocket, keep his eyes downfield, still play within his progressions through some pressure, to me, those are all things that you draw on as positive and want to build off of. And ultimately knowing there's a lot of different things you need to do to protect better, whether it's the offensive line, the tight ends, getting open, playing on time as the quarterback, sacks, pressures, hits, that is not an offensive line stat. That is not a sole offensive line stat. When you look at the issues we had, it goes everywhere from the quarterback to the wideouts and everyone in between participate in that. So as an offense, holistically, we have to get that corrected.
The fact that Dylan does have that mobility in his game, especially with you guys having some tackle issues right now and trying to get those positions stabilized as much as possible. Is it critical to have the keepers, the boots, the movement that he can do?
Yeah, week to week, we definitely evaluate how teams play those. And, it's part of our offensive identity. It's part of, what we have at our arsenal. And Dylan's mobility, certainly getting him on the perimeter, getting him in a clear sight, those things all help. And, we'll pick and choose our spots to use those.
When you look at Miami's defense and the pressure they have been able to put on teams, what are you seeing in that, especially with Dylan stepping into this game? Yeah,
they have three guys on the edges that do a nice job rushing at a really high level. Seiler inside's a really good 3-tech rusher, interior guy that can win on guards and centers. He can bump out over a tackle. 30, the backer, is a very good blitzer, is a matchup for the backs. So they're an aggressive defense. They pressure, a good chunk of time. They do a good job in their different packages on third down, and then they have personnel that can win one-on-one situations. So, every week you go against teams, and, there's a reason why those guys are drafted so high, that it's that important. So every week we got to have a plan to help our guys and to make sure that, we can neutralize some of the rush patterns that we see.
So when you're doing the game plan on Tuesday, was a beautiful day, but Sunday's not going to be
right.
The forecast. So
Yeah.
how does that affect your Tuesday game planning?
Yeah, you definitely plan for it. To go into all the specifics probably wouldn't be an advantage for us, but you definitely plan for it and account for it. You put the ball security part at a premium. You look at, maybe certain things that you might need more of or less of based on the plan, and, weather's part of the game. And you saw it Monday night at the end of that game, right? Weather playing a factor there. So, there's certainly drills and things you do to work that with your players, and then there's planning that goes into it to make sure that you have enough of certain things.
The wind is blowing like it could be on Sunday. How does that affect a quarterback's decision making?
Yeah, you got to spin it in the wind. Dylan does that pretty well. He throws a pretty tight ball. Obviously, you got to play on time. Some balls that maybe you get away with late, but if you're playing on time, playing on rhythm, hopefully you're pretty efficient still. And then there's probably some things, if the wind's really blowing and you're going into it, that maybe you're waiting until the field flips. But you try not to focus too much on the exterior factors there.
All right, there you go. Time for our first matchup presented by Ballybet. Ballybet Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly. It is our offense against the Miami defense. And for more details on that, we turn it over to Dr. Z.
I'm drooling over here.
I know. I see you got some sort of a chop.
We. Thank you, Goose. Okay. There's a chop for you in there. Woo. Chop for whomever
great
wants
Lavelle.
a chop.
Those
Lavelle.
look delightful, Lavelle. Club hasn't been the same.
I bet not. I'm happy he's here.
G-Man's sitting in here drooling over my shoulder.
G-Man, come get one of these. Come wet your beak.
What's your beak, G-Man?
In a commercial break.
Dolphins defense, they're going to play.
Look, he's your little son. In a commercial break, little G-Man.
They're going to play a 4 or a 5-man front. They've got a lot of high picks there. First-round picks on their defensive line, Bradley Chubb. They've got Kenneth Grant, their first-round pick this year. Chop Robinson, their first-round pick last year. Jalen Phillips, a first-round pick in 21. Bradley Chubb was a first-round pick in 2018. Matthew Judon is on this team.
Is he really?
Yeah, 4-time Pro Bowler, 2 double-digit sack seasons. He really isn't playing much and has not done much this season. No sacks yet. They also have Zach Sealer up front, who's from Ferris State. Bueller. He had 10 sacks in each of 23 and 24. No sacks so far this season. But good front linebackers. Jordan Brooks leads the NFL with 66 tackles and leads the NFL with 41 solo tackles. He has 4 straight seasons of more than 100 tackles. Once had 184 in 2021 with Seattle. They also have Terrell Dodson. They have Willie Gay Jr., the former Kansas City Chief as well, and KJ Britt, who had filled in last week and had a team-high 13 tackles while Dodson was out with a concussion. He should be back this week. Back end, Minkah Fitzpatrick as kind of plays that safety or nickelback position. Their corners are retreads. They got Rasul Douglas. They've got Jack Jones. They only have 1 interception as a team. That's Minkah Fitzpatrick. Ashton Davis, a former Jet, is the other safety, along with Dante Trader Jr., their 5th-round pick out of Miami. He is one of the safeties as well. So this is a team that really, they're not taking the football away. They have the 1 interception, but they have forced 9 fumbles and recovered 5 of them. So that's the one thing that they have done well, is they have forced a lot of fumbles. So we got to protect the football. Terrible on 3rd downs, terrible 4th downs. In terms of what they play, it's kind of 50-50, middle of the field open, middle of the field closed, which means they're more of a 2-high team. That's 8th in the league at 50%. They blitz a ton, 44%. They'll go all out almost 10% of the time, 4th most in the league. Their top coverages are cover 3 and cover 2 by percentage. Cover 1, they 19%. Those are the 3 main coverages they play. Cover 1, cover 3, cover 2. Then they do the all-out blitz. They got some cover 4, cover 6, but little mixed in. 66% zone. That's actually 22nd in the league, so it's not a high rate. They play a lot of base defense, though, 37%, and that can be 5 down linemen. They kind of play like a 5-2-4, a 5-man front. So it'll be interesting to see what they do and how the Browns attack it. The good news is you can run on this team. They're giving up 169 yards, 5.6 yards a carry on the ground. They are 32nd against the run, 30th in total yards, 30th on third down, 30th on fourth down. They have been a good red zone defense. They've forced a lot of field goals, but they've given up over 20 points in every game, 29 on the season. This is a game, especially with what we know with the weather. Give it to Quinshawn, man. Give the ball to Quinshawn Judkins. I'd like 25 carries in this game. Feed him the rock. We don't know about our tackle situation. We don't know about David Njoku with the knee. Get the ball to Quinshawn Judkins. I don't think this is going to be a big stat game for Dylan Gabriel. If, every now and then if a shot's there, depending on the weather, take it. But for the most part, let's get Quinshawn Judkins going. This should be, I'm calling for 200 yards. That's what I'm calling for, 200 yards.
Total?
From Quinshawn.
How many touches are you calling for him?
35.
35 touches.
Yeah, didn't you hear Josh Jacobs when in a similar situation ran it 30 times and they won.
I wonder if he's played in one like that. He's
Probably
played an
not.
implement at Ohio State, but it was always cold and it's turf. Ole Miss is grass.
It is grass.
He probably played in some muck bowls.
Maybe some rain, but never. It's never going to be quite this full experience.
Not this type of wind.
No,
that would be it. I'm trying to think if Dylan ever did. Best chance for that would have probably been at Oklahoma in the wind.
In the wind, yes.
Oregon's, you're not going to get the wind. You get the rain.
Florida, Central Florida, right? Was he at UCF?
He was at UCF.
So you could get some wind
so
and
maybe
some rain
some
there.
wind and rain there if you had remnants of a hurricane situation that you were dealing with. All right, there you go. We'll do the other side of the matchup, our defense versus the Dolphins offense coming up. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Head to Myers, scan the Hillshire Farms QR code in the meat department until November 11th for a chance to win a suite for 10 to the Steelers game on December 28th. Time to head back to the podium, presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. Here's your defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz.
Jim, you guys
You're done.
face the last 2 or 3 weeks quarterbacks who have really gotten rid of the ball quick to kind of neutralize you guys' pad. You see another one in Tua. What's sort of the give and take to try to respond to that, to what they're doing?
Yeah, well, I mean, you see that a lot. I mean, you go way back in the day, Eli Manning got rid of the ball so fast, there was a reason that he, would hardly ever get sacked and stayed healthy for all those years. So, offensively, I think, I don't want to speak for offensive guys, but you got to balance how quick the ball comes out versus your ability to make plays down the field. And I'll just speak on Pittsburgh. The way that game was going, other than a couple plays outside, which we can play better, the ball was coming out fast, but we were getting drives stopped and we were keeping the game in management. It took a lot of their play action, sort of deeper shot stuff away to be able to go. So, there's a lot of different ways. You want to hold the ball longer to try to push the ball down the field. Now the rush becomes more of an impact, different things like that. There's different things coverage-wise that can go because if you're aggressive to take quick answers away, which we were in that game, it makes you a little bit more susceptible to some of those outside shots that we got with DK. So, it's all just a give and take of where you are, what you're doing, where the game score is. If an offense is in control or keeping the game, they're in control of the game. Well, there's no reason for them to hold the ball long enough to take those hits or, put the ball in danger way. If the game's a little bit different and they're trying to catch up, it's hard to win with that strategy. So, Joe Burrow got rid of the ball super fast too. We've seen a lot of those guys too. Nobody got rid of it faster than Aaron Rodgers, though. Just as the year, just stat wise, over the course of the year, and really until that really crappy drive we had right after we got the penalty, we had come out half, got a good 3 and out, and then we got the penalty, and then we just really went to pieces. We started trying to, the thing I warn against a lot of times, we started trying to make plays instead of just trying to keep playing our stuff, and ended up giving a touchdown there. And I really thought that's where that game changed. We can keep that 9-3 right there, force the punt, get the ball back, man. It's just like I kept telling the guys on the sideline, man, this is just like Green Bay. We're hanging in there. We're gonna make a play and win the game. But that was disappointing.
You guys are third in the league defensively. Last in red zone defense. Do you have an explanation for that?
No, I mean we're working really hard, and it's come different places. I think the double move was just outside of the red zone. Generally, best run teams play good red zone defense, and we've allowed some rushing touchdowns in there close, like Minnesota, just shoved it right up in the A gap. And then early in the year, I thought there were some times where, it's hard to stop them in the red zone, but we took the field after some turnovers or things like that, and just, we played like 3 really good plays that go for it on 4th down and make it. We just got to keep grinding it. We got to play physical down there. We got to take the run away and get back on the right side of that, because having a chance to hold them to field goals or force long field goals is paramount to keeping the score down, and that's what we're trying to do.
Campbell had pretty good coverage a lot of the day on Metcalf. How do you get a guy to turn his head? I mean, is that
that is something that we coach a little bit different here, and a lot of guys coach people to play blind to the ball and play the blur of the ball. It's a tough situation to be in. A lot of colleges coach it that way. And he was only here, boots on the ground, for not very long, but he had some really good, tough, competitive plays. I thought he was battling. They obviously were testing the new guy, and, you're talking about one of the premier receivers in the NFL doing it. But we'll get him up on that, because I think on 2 of those plays, if we get our head around, there's chances for interceptions there. I thought it was tough. Like the very first play of the game, Tyson's, they're up there, they run a play action. He loses his eyes, and he's the deep third player on that. He's got to be able to see that. I think we can get a little more experience, time on task. Tough position to put him in there, but I thought he was battling. And he had his fair share of good plays, but then also had a couple that I'm sure he'd like to have back. I did like the way he was playing physical. He made some really good physical tackles in there.
Okay. Miami's roster, their running back, Devon, from a speed standpoint, how do you guys kind of combat his speed and how he uses that in the run game?
Yeah, a lot of times it's almost like there's a punt returner back there. Achan is super, super fast. He can get the perimeter a lot of different ways. They run the wide zone, and, they're really attacking the outside numbers of the field. They get the ball on, like, bubble screens and toss sweeps, and even the checkdowns are wide. So, we got to defend all 53 and a third of the field, and also you got to find a way to get it cut off. Like a lot of times in punt return, you got to cut the field off, force guys to cut back. There's a lot of people that you want to string it to the sideline. There's others that you want to get it cut off. They're a speed team. He's got great speed, not just carrying the ball, but, getting as a pass receiver. So he's their leading rusher. I think he's probably even their leading receiver. And they use him a lot of different ways. So our ability to combat his speed on the perimeter and have good leverage tackles and things like that is going to be very important in this game.
All right, now time for the other side of the matchup. We turn to the offensive coordinator of the Miami Dolphins, Frank Smith.
Frank, the outside here, more natural for Cleveland to want Myles Garrett facing Borum instead of facing Patrick Paul. Is that what you're expecting? Is it that simple?
You can think whatever you want to really do. I remember, back in 21, I know it was a different coordinator. He played on both sides, and Rashawn Slater was a rookie really in his, 4th game? Unproven guy. He was a Pro Bowler that year. But, and then Storm Norton was our right tackle. So we didn't even know where he would be. We thought he would go over here, and then all of a sudden they put him back on the rookie. So right when you think you get a beat of what they're going to try and do, they have a plan to keep you out of your plan, to keep you irregular. So it's like as you move your pawn up and your rook over, then all of a sudden the bishop moves and you're just kind of like, wait, what the heck? How did I get in check there? And then all of a sudden you're that. So I think it's the game of football of like you work through the potential scenarios and you make sure you have answers for every possible situation.
Getting back to Patrick Paul, we've seen him kind of juiced for these matchups against elite pass rushers, right? He was excited to take on Aiden Hutchinson. He's excited to take on Myles Garrett. Just what does that do for your offense when you have a guy that's that excited to block somebody that might be in the Hall of Fame one day? And then, what's your expectation?
I think that's what you want out of all your guys. When you have elite performers coming to town, you want to take on the best, because to be the best, you got to block the best. You got to compete against the best. So, I still laugh because it was like the first game, Rashawn Slater's rookie year. We're going to play, was it Sweat and Chase Young? And, the whole thing coming out of the draft with him, is he big enough to play tackle? Is he all these things? And Chase Young at Ohio State, and he goes, I'm really excited for this game. I'm like, what do you mean you're excited? He goes, I'm excited. I really am. I'm like, define what excited means. I don't really understand where you're at. He goes, I'm going to block him. I'm going to block him all day. I was like, well, I'd be excited too. I'm ready to go for Sunday. So basically, to me, it was like that energy, that confidence. You want to take on the best in the league to show that I'm of that caliber. So a guy like Patrick that has the energy, you want that of all your guys to be able to rise to the performance, each week. It's the different challenges present themselves with the guys.
Right. What is it about Myles Garrett that can make him so dangerous?
Yeah, I think it was, basically kind of watching his whole career, because played him so many times, being at the Raiders, Chargers, and in AFC. His get off, his length, his power, his understanding of what an offense is trying to do, his understanding of what offense is trying to do to mitigate him, knowing how he works with his other teammates, how he can play off guys. I mean, it's a guy that really understands the position, how he fits, how he needs to play to be at his best. So, and to watch him grow throughout his career has been, I mean, it's a credit to him and all the work he's put in because, whenever you play guys like him, you have to be on it and bring your best. And, that's why I'm excited to go up to Cleveland for us to show where we're at.
All right, time for the other side of the matchup. It is the Dolphins offense against that Browns defense. It's presented by Ballybet. Ballybet Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly. For the details, we turn it over to Dr. Z.
Dolphins have scored more than 20 in 5 straight games. So this is a team that can put points on the scoreboard, and that's something obviously we know that the Cleveland Browns have struggled with scoring in their own right. So if you want to beat this football team in this game on Sunday, the weather certainly could be helpful, but we're going to have to score, and we're going to have to try to slow them down. The Dolphins' last 5 games, 27, 21, 27, 24, and 27 points in those games. So they have been effective. When they throw it, Tua Tagovailoa, 70% completions this year, 1,213 yards, 11 touchdowns, 7 picks, 92 rating. He gets the ball out quickly. He is very effective getting the football to Jalen Waddle. Waddle leads the team with 29 catches for 390 yards. And Waddle's got 3 receiving touchdowns. But since Tyreek Hill has gone out, Waddle's averaging 102 yards per game. So the ball goes to Waddle. The ball goes to Darren Waller, the tight end, who scored 4 times in 3 games after not playing at all in 2024. And then the straw that stirs the drink is Devon Achane. Third rounder in 2023. Last year, 1,499 total yards, 12 touchdowns. Averages 5.5 yards per carry for his career. He is dangerous out of the backfield as well. 76 rushes, 390 yards, 3 touchdowns, 5.1 yards a carry, 29 catches, 195 yards, and 3 touchdowns receiving. He's the only player in the NFL to have 3 receiving and 3 rushing touchdowns this year. He is only the second player in the Super Bowl era, which shocks me, to have at least 3 rushing touchdowns and 3 receiving touchdowns in their first 3 seasons. Only the second player in the entire Super Bowl era. Do you have any guesses?
Run me that again. I was writing it down as you were doing it. Go ahead. Run that by me again.
He is the second player
All right.
in the Super Bowl era, which means only one other has done it,
Yep.
to have at least 3 rushing touchdowns and at least 3 receiving touchdowns in each of their first 3 seasons in the NFL.
Okay. Falk.
Marshall Faulk's first year, 0 receiving touchdowns. In fact, he only had 3 and 3, at least 3 and 3, in one of his first 3 seasons.
Tomlinson.
LaDainian Tomlinson, first year in the league. LaDainian Tomlinson started his career with double-digit rushing touchdowns from 2001 to 2009. Receiving touchdowns, first year in the league, 0. Second year in the league, 1.
G-Man is like Buddy Garrity when I put the food in the bowl, but I make him wait until I leave before he eats. That's what he is right now. He can't wait to pounce. That's
so exactly you think you have this, G-Man?
I don't. I just have 2 guesses.
Roger Craig?
Roger Craig is the answer.
Let's go.
Yeah, Roger Craig was not.
Nobody's going to guess Christian McCaffrey at least?
My guess was Christian McCaffrey or Priest Holmes.
Where'd you pull Roger Craig from? Roger Craig is
Those are the 3 guys that I think of when I think of catching it.
Because he did 1,000. So Roger Craig's first year in the league, 725 rushing, 725 and 8 touchdowns rushing, 427 and 4 receiving. His second year in the league, 649 and 7 rushing, 675 and 3 receiving. And then his third year in the league, he goes 1,000 for it was cool. 1,050 yards, 9 touchdowns rushing. Led the NFL with 92 receptions. 1,016 yards, and 6 touchdowns receiving. He would not have another season with 3 or more receiving touchdowns in his entire career. Devon Achane has already accomplished this in week 6 of this season. First year in the league, 8 rushing, 3 receiving. Second year in the league, 6 rushing, 6 receiving. Last year was 6-6, now 3-3.
It's pretty crazy. So Craig is basically lights out through age 29. You all right? He's lights out through age 29. He's a two-time All-Pro. Yeah. He's third in the MVP. He's a four-time Pro Bowler. By 29, you'd look at his career and you're going, "That's gold jacket. That guy's headed to gold jacket." It's pretty crazy. His total yardage, just rudimentary math here. It's 1,200 total yards, 1,300 total yards, over 2,000 total yards, 1,500 total yards, 1,500 to 2,000 again, 1,500 again, and then at age 30, it goes to 600. Then it just fell off a cliff at age 30.
Yeah.
Was there an injury?
Part of it was, he rushed with those high knees.
Yeah.
And maybe he just kind of lost it a little bit. He had a big fumble, I remember, in one of the championship games that cost the Niners. I mean, he was still through 29.
Really good.
Good.
Through age 29, he's a Hall of Famer.
That was also the era, though, where running backs didn't go until they were 30.
Well, some did. I mean, that's coming out of Peyton and Dorsett and those guys. Like, they had extra long careers.
Here are his touches numbers, which might explain it. 224, 226, 306, 285, 281, 386, 320. The last 2 years before he fell off a cliff, he had 706 touches in 2 seasons.
Yeah, there you go. That's what did it. But he was really, really special. Really good player.
Yeah, ahead of his time.
Yeah, it really was. Those are the three. Anytime I think of dual threat, those are the three I think of, and then McCaffrey would be the modern.
Yeah, I was surprised McCaffrey didn't do it.
I just didn't know if he was healthy his first 3 seasons.
So let's see. So first year, he was healthy all 3 of them. So McCaffrey, wow. First year, 435 and 2 rushing touchdowns.
Only had 2 rushing touchdowns his rookie year?
651 and 5 receiving. Next year, 1,098 and 7 rushing, 867 and 6 receiving. Third year, 1,387 and 15 rushing, 1,005 and 4 receiving. So you would have thought he would have done it, but not for the rushing touchdowns.
For the rushing as a
year.
rookie. Yeah, that's what kept him from
By the way,
doing
he
it.
already has 46 catches for 444 yards this year.
Hey, he's stud.
In 6 games.
He's stud. All right, we'll get your fantasy minute. Also, your mailbag coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Elk and Elk, serious lawyers, serious injuries, 1-800-ELK Ohio for a free case view. Elk and Elk's proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time for your Fantasy Minute presented by Scaleco Capital. Scaleco Capital, proud private equity partner of your Cleveland Browns. For some names you need to know for fantasy this week, we turn it over to Dr. Z.
All right, week 7. Now you get some people back. Rashee Rice apparently will not be limited. So if that's the case and you're a team that needs some wide receiver help, you've been waiting this long, get them into your lineups and get going, right? Let's look at the quarterback position for you this week. Really, it's been tough. Burrow, Lamar, guys who are drafted as top 4 out. Drake May is a must-start at this point every single week. I think Aaron Rodgers tonight is actually a pretty solid play going against the Cincinnati Bengals defense. Danny Dimes has been a great start all season long. I think you can keep rolling with him. So those are some of the quarterbacks. Running backs, Quinshawn is a must-start. I think Quinshawn Judkins could be the number 1 back. Rico Dowdle, back-to-back games with 200 total yards. Got to keep him in your lineups, obviously. Against the awful Dallas defense, I think you need Bill Krosky-Merritt in there. I know he had a fumble last week, but I think he'll be fine. If Irving's not back, Rashad White is a start. Cam Scadaboo is a start. Vidal Sassoon is a start for you at the running back position this week. Wide receivers, like I mentioned, Rashee Rice coming back. I like him. DK Metcalf tonight I think is a great play on a Thursday night. I mentioned Rashee Rice, Chris Olave. If Mike Evans is back, I think you play him. That's a Monday night, though, so you better have somebody in one of those other games if you're waiting on him to get in your lineups. Kendrick Bourne, as long as he's starting, you start him. Back-to-back 150-yard games, and then in a PPR league, Wan'Dale Robinson, I think, will catch a lot of balls in that game against the Denver Broncos. I don't think he'll draw Surtain. I think they'll put maybe little Jordan Humphrey will get Surtain, or if Darius Slayton's back. Tight ends, Harold Fannin. Even if the weather's not great, I think Harold Fannon's a pretty good play, especially if David Njoku is unable to go this week. Ferguson remains the top one. George Kittle should be back this week. Get him in your lineups. Did you know that Tyler Warren, who's been excellent, the first-round pick, has one more catch than Harold Fannin this season? Just one more.
And he's one of the favorites for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Warren is,
He's 29, 370, and 2, and Fannin is, I think, 28, 280, and 2, or 280 and 1. So, I mean, listen, that guy was a early first-round pick, so not bad to get that kind of production from your third-round pick in Harold Fannin. But Harold Fannon's a good one. And then defenses matter. I never talk kickers because kickers, so you need a good – I mean, Pinero's kicking the ball great for the 49ers if you wanted to pick him up. But on the defensive side, some matchups for you this week that I think are in your favor. Broncos are already there, but I'm talking about guys that may be on your waiver wire. The Patriots get Tennessee. I like that matchup. The Chiefs get Las Vegas. I like that matchup. I think if the weather's bad, Browns against Miami is a good play for our Cleveland Browns. And then I think a little sneaky one. I like the Panthers and the Jets. The Panthers, I think, could be a nice defensive play for you there as well. So that's a look at some of the fantasy guys.
Good job out of you. Time to open up that mailbag, Gibbe.
We do, but we have a little bit of news first in college football. Kurt Signetti getting paid by the University of Indiana, 8-year, $93 million extension that will put him as one of the top paid coaches in college football at about $11.6 million per year.
Now, James Franklin's not hurting for money with his buyout.
No.
But he really should be getting a percentage of the increase that's going to go to, I bet this is the first of probably 5 coaches that are going to get a raise just because this job's open.
College football Nate's dialed in-ness right now in college football is off the charts.
Well,
it's exactly right. There is going to be a ton of guys. He's the first one that are going to use Penn State to get raises at their current jobs.
Was it Jimmy Sexton?
That's your boy. That's your boy. This is I didn't think he was going to go there anyway, so I think this is a good bit of agent work. And I don't know if they would have wanted him either as a 64-year-old because I think they want a longer-term solution if they can find one. So he played it absolutely perfectly on this front. The idea that he's making more than Ryan Day is pretty wild.
Well, Ryan Day's going to ask for a raise.
Well, he'll get one, and I'm sure he'll get one. But this is also the problem. This is why the Big Ten, the dregs of the Big Ten is trying to get into the private equity business, and why like Michigan, Ohio State want no part of it. USC wants no part of it.
Yeah, they want to maintain their dominance.
They don't want to cast their lot with some of these other programs that need to fundraise to make money. Indiana's got a lot of money. I mean, Cuban's involved now. Like they got a lot of money to throw around, and that levels that's leveled the playing field for them. But there's a bunch of teams in the Big Ten that are banking on private equity to bail them out. UCLA, Rutgers among them, Purdue.
How does UCLA not have a lot of money?
They're flat broke. Their athletic department is broke. They got way too many teams that they can't pay for. They joined the Big Ten for the money is why they joined, but now all of a sudden all their non-revenue sports, which I don't even know if football's a revenue sport at UCLA. Nobody goes to their games.
No.
So I have no idea if they even make money on football. If not for the television package, they might not.
That's wild.
But they have all these sports that they lose money on. So UCLA's a mess.
Yeah. That's again, we're talking about coaches making an absolute ton of money. 8-year extension. That makes him 72 years old.
He could not win another game there, and they'll have to scratch a check for $93 million.
Yep.
It's like baseball contracts, every bit guaranteed.
On the YouTube chat from Lyle Miller. What is your favorite flavor of bacon? Are you aware of the Black Label brand that partnered with Cinnamon Toast Crunch to create a delightful treat? Oh, baby.
Cinnamon bacon. I like bacon-flavored
bacon.
I like regular bacon.
I can get like a smoked maple.
Smoked maple usually works, too.
Yeah.
Brown sugar would probably be good.
Brown sugar is just
bacon
fine.
would
Brown
probably
sugar
be good.
Yeah. I just like bacon.
Bacon on its own
If I'm
going
to have bacon, I kind of want it to taste like bacon.
Yeah, I don't have it very often, but if I have
neither.
it, that's what I do, bacon-flavored bacon.
It's gone. It's one of the things that's gone. I with Luca, the idea that we're going to wake up on a Sunday, not in football season,
brunch?
of course, but have a little brunch and some bacon and a Bloody Mary and all
Sure.
that.
It's done.
Gone. I told her
we back in.
So what she loved, sweet Miss K loved brunch.
Yeah, big
gone.
brunch.
And she loved having just time to read.
Yeah, gone.
No, and I was like, you need to take some time to read. You got it. That's for your, they say put your oxygen mask on.
What's gonna make it her first Mother's Day brunch next May is gonna be magic, and Luke will be ready.
He'll be ready.
He's gonna be ready for that first Mother's Day brunch.
By the way, a fun fact for you:
ready.
can anybody tell me? So we mentioned the agent. It's a hint for you. The agent who is helping these college coaches. The wrestler Edge, who's a surefire Hall of Famer, one of the great performers of all time. Do you know the name of his first character when he broke into the business? Anyone? Yes, the Rated R Superstar. No, that's not his first. First one was Sexton Hardcastle.
Sexton Hardcastle?
That was his name when he broke into this.
He had to be a fan of Hardcastle and McCormick. You guys remember that show?
Or the booker who gave him that said, "You're Sexton Hardcastle."
You're Sexton Hardcastle.
Yeah.
Well, somebody is. Somebody's a Hardcastle
Yes.
and McCormick fan. Are you guys familiar with this?
No.
Hardcastle and McCormick? You remember this show from the 80s?
Yeah.
That was in that era where if you had a fancy car, you could build a show around it.
Of course.
Didn't matter. So the car was the Coyote, was the name of the car. The premise of the show is old judge, young hotshot, goes wrong. Judge, instead of sentencing him to prison, sentence him to work for him.
Of course.
And he drives a fancy car around fast. It's got a great theme song. Great theme song to Hardcastle and McCormick. I mean, every one of them. I mean, there were so many in that time that was just give me a car and we're in.
We got another one from the YouTube channel. I'm going to my first Browns game Sunday. What's a must-do and what to watch out for? Keep in mind I'm a 20-year-old male.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine then.
Nothing to see here. You'll be great.
Get in the Muni lot. Stay dry.
Yep.
Wear rain gear.
Go to the dive bar.
Mix in a water.
Yeah, mix in a water every now and then. Dive bar.
Don't be drunk in public.
No.
There's nothing appealing about it.
No. It's sloppy.
It's.
I never even saw Hardcastle. I've never even seen the show. I've never seen any of these guys.
Are you kidding me?
No.
How's that
no
possible?
frame of reference. None.
You've seen The Fall Guy, right?
Of course.
Okay, so it would have been on. It was in that realm.
I was a Knight Rider from Cars. Knight Rider, Magnum PI.
Yeah, Dukes of Hazzard, Magnum PI.
Yeah,
all of that. It was in that world.
Who were the detectives that drove the red Camaro, or the red?
That's Simon and Simon.
Yeah.
Nice.
One guy drove a red Camaro, and then the other brother drove a Ram pickup.
That's right.
Yeah, that's Simon.
I
and
never
Simon.
watched that.
Yeah,
I definitely. Know
I think
that.
they were PIs.
Yeah,
lots of in the '80s. Fancy cars. By the way, they were all private investigators. How much of a private investigator can you be driving around Hawaii in a Ferrari.
Not much.
Not exactly inconspicuous, I wouldn't think. Listen to this. This is it. Come on.
This is pretty good. Does anybody here? You and I are, I feel like, fairly worldly.
How good is this?
Have you ever met a private investigator?
Never in my life.
For the 80s having
Yes.
so many
You have.
shows
Of
on
course he
private
has.
investigators.
Why did they need them? Why did they need so many
I
of them?
believe there's one that works in our scouting department.
How about that?
Yeah, but okay, yeah, true.
But I mean,
That's
there were even people like the Fall Guy story. I think he was a stuntman who moonlit as a bail bondsman /
He was
investigator.
A stuntman. Yes,
I think that's what it was. Magnum was a private. I don't know what the Dukes
He
of
was
Hazzard.
PI.
Dukes of Hazzard just went on adventures. I mean, there was no
moonshine,
nothing.
Moonshine.
Let's live our
But
best
they
life. There
never
was no
showed
PI.
the moonshine.
There's
They
no
just
PI
drove around
going
on
there.
adventures.
Yeah.
What are you doing today? Fast car.
Let's get
People
in the
are gonna
car and
chase us.
outrun Enos.
And Roscoe.
Chips
No
was
big
a
deal.
great show too.
Chips was great.
Great show.
Punch. See, again, on a motorcycle.
I have a ton of questions.
great-
I will get to all these
great
tomorrow. We will
uniforms.
build it into this. We will build these into the show.
There you go. All right, we got them in. We'll get the rest of them in tomorrow. So much more to come. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Join Z and Gerard tonight, 7 to 8. Kevin Stefanski Show live from Panini's in Brunswick. Hear from the coach and meet Browns kicker Andre Schmidt. Register to win autographed merch courtesy of our friends at Bud Light. Hello, Gibby.
Must-win night for the Bengals. It'll be rocking down in northern Kentucky in the jungle. Bengals welcoming in the Pittsburghers. 4-1 Pittsburgh, 2-4 Bengals. No Trey Hendrickson. Nathan Zagura, what say you?
I believe it's mine. Yeah, I think I got to do it this week.
I'll defer it to you.
Nobody circles the wagons like Joe Flacco.
I agree.
And the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh,
no
baby.
one
God,
circles the wagons.
Going to make the
like
Squealers head coach angry.
And he's going to be upset about it. They're all in. It's going to be a crazy night in the jungle. Jamar Chase, late, bus deep. Joe Flacco, rainbow.
It's like art, the way he throws the ball.
Just going to be effortless. Bengals lose a close one. Steelers 24, Bengals 23. On a Thursday. There you go, kids.
There it is.
We'll be back into it tomorrow for more
see you
fun.
in 2 hours at Panini's.
Well, we'll see you guys there, which will be great. Look forward to that. I'm going to see if Bootsy's up for it. Maybe we'll make the drive over.
Come see
hi to you.
That would bring me joy.
I'll buy you.
He just gave it.
I'll get you a pizza.
I'll put
get
him
you
on
a
the air.
panini sandwich.
I'll put him on the
Put
air.
it right. Will Chops be there?
Yes.
Well, so you're
He should
saying
be.
there's a
Or
chance.
Brownie.
15.
Somebody's
One of them. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland.